to start with, बहुत nervous हूँ मैं because after RRR, this is my next film post RRR. और वैसे भी RRR was with my co-actor also, Mr. Ramcharan. This is my solo release after 6 years. So there is a lot of nervousness which is building up. But I'm very happy to launch the trailer of Devara in the city of Mumbai. Because the experience we've had when we were promoting for RRR was just surreal. I mean, the acceptance of North has just shocked us all, and I hope it repeats with Devara. But I think it's God's blessings and the love which has always been showered by the fans and the audience. So I'm always indebted.
You know, I'm very excited. I remember my first shot speaking Telugu, and I had a bit of sweat running down my back, and I felt very nervous in a very, very different way. I mean, we come from the same country, but sometimes our states are really like different to one another. And going down there was a very exciting experience. I was very kind of Tariq, of NTRG, and for Shivaji to want me in the movie, because movies made in the South recently have been mind-blowing. And to get a chance to act in a film like this and to do that, for me, you're right, I felt like a newcomer. I'm really excited because I've spoken the language. It was a new language for me. And I love the movie and I love what I've done in it also.
ये मेरी डेब्यू फिल्म है और honestly ऐसे लग रहा है कि मेरी घर वापसी भी है क्योंकि मेरी first Telugu film है. So it's very, very, very special to me. So thank you so much for showing up with so much enthusiasm.
Right. And जो response अभी मिला है यहाँ पे, of course, जो units को response मिला है, उसके बारे में what do you have to say? People are like, this is the Jodi, NTR Junior and Janvi Kapoor. We want to see them in every single movie. This is what people are saying.
Even I want to do every single movie with Tarak sir only. I had so much fun. I learned so much, and I think everyone knows what a big fan of him I've always been, and I think I've become a bigger fan of him after having worked with him.
Well, you've had all the magic and madness on land, but have you seen it on sea? It's a first. I mean, when you see what they call like the blood sea, and you see all the action that happens, you know, on the water and the way, like there are sequences that are just, sometimes you feel that you have a wild imagination and those can never really be fructified. But this has, like, you know, Siva sir had that imagination and then it was absolutely like executed to precision. So I think the big USP, I would say, is just the landscape of the film.
And, a little bit tense, like this is my debut film. And, I hope everyone likes the film as much as we like. Thank you.
Well, firstly, I was really excited, like I said, to get offered a big movie made, you know, from Andhra and from the South industry that's given us so many incredible movies. And I think the future is going to be collaborations between North and South. And I think of it in terms of like you say, a pan-Indian kind of scenario. Yeah. Anyway, this role, I was very happy that Tariq ji wanted me in it, and Shiva sir wanted me in it. I think they'd seen Omkara and remembered it, and I have to thank Vishal ji for that still. Right. It was a very interesting character because, you know, there's a young version, there's an older version, there's crazy makeup, and also I wouldn't, you know, it's more of an anti-hero than a straight antagonist, and there's many layers to it, and it was just absolutely lovely doing it.
Devara, for me, obviously, you know, it's not only a film, but it's a journey with Koratal Shiva for many years. I mean, we've known each other since this movie of mine called Brindavanam. Yes. And Shiva was the writer for the movie, and it was this growth of friendship between me and him. And then when he started off as a filmmaker, my interest towards him, my respect towards him has only increased with every film he's done. But I mean, it was very tough for him to sustain that kind of blockbusters which he's delivered. Right. It's only because Shiva has nothing in mind but the story of the film. It keeps running in his head. He just needs the right space. He just needs the right people around him. to just excel in it. And when our journey started, right before RRR released, so he came up with this idea of this protagonist. Usually in commercial mainstream movie, we have a protagonist coming from the downtrodden, you know, when there's absolute zero courage. The protagonist comes forward, gives courage to the people who needs, you know, who needs courage, takes them and goes forward. Right. But here there's a flip to Devara. So when courage is completely, you know, when it's filled to the brim, when it exceeds, there needs to be a certain amount of fear. And the protagonist is actually trying to give in fear than actually give in courage. So that for me, was a phenomenal idea. And then we started our journey of Devara.